Harare, Zimbabwe. Robert Mugabe, 93, who ruled Zimbabwe with an iron grip until the military took over and placed him under house arrest, stunned the nation on Sunday night with a speech in which he refused to say whether he would resign. Many political observers and fellow Zimbabweans had been waiting for Mr. Mugabe to step down as president after nearly 40 years in power. But sitting at a table while flanked by members of the military and other officials, including a priest, the embattled president spoke for 20 minutes in which he acknowledged problems. He also referred to himself as president and commander-in-chief and declared he would preside over his party's Congress, scheduled to take place in a few weeks. "I will preside over its processes, which must not be prepossessed by any acts calculated to undermine it or to compromise the outcomes in the eyes of the public," he said. But observers questioned how he could oversee the conference if he was no longer leader of the party. The address came hours after he was expelled as leader of his own governing party, ZANU-PF, which gave him until noon Monday to resign or face impeachment by Parliament. Party officials earlier on Sunday had removed his wife, Grace Mugabe, widely viewed as his likely successor, as head of the ZANU-PF Women's League and barred her from the party for life. It also appointed Emmerson Mnangagwa, the vice president previously fired by the president, as Mr. Mugabe's successor to lead the party. The stunning rebuke by the Central Committee of Mr. Mugabe's party, ZANU-PF, came after emergency talks to address the political crisis. Under the constitution, Mr. Mugabe remains president after the party's decision on Sunday. But leaders had threatened that if he did not resign by noon Monday, he would face impeachment by Parliament. Announcing the expulsion of Mr. Mugabe on Sunday, Patrick Chinamasa, the party's Secretary for Legal Affairs, said, "Mr. Mugabe hereby is recalled as first Secretary and President of the ZANU-PF party. He is therefore asked to resign forthwith." In the event that the resignation would not have been tendered by midday 20th of November, 2017, the ZANU-PF chief whip was ordered to issue proceedings for the removal of the president in terms of Section 97 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment No. 20. Cheers and dancing broke out in the building after the decision to expel the party leader who had ruled Zimbabwe for 37 years. "There is a case at the end," a group of youths chanted after storming an open space outside the ZANU-PF headquarters. They sang a phrase that loosely translated to "We lead on while they bark." Many Western news outlets had alerted the world to a pending resignation, citing confidential sources. But it was not to be, at least in the speech on Sunday night. Mr. Mugabe made the rambling, halting televised address to the Southern African nation about 9 p.m. local time after intense negotiations at the State House with the country's army generals about the conditions of what was expected to be his departure. Among the men sitting off to the side was the very army commander, Constantino Chiwenga, who had placed him under house arrest.